So here's what I want to talk about. How passive, yes, what's it like living the laptop lifestyle? I think everyone can kind of imagine what it's like, and it's actually possible. Number one thing I want to share with you guys is this actually is possible. And it's not possible because now I'm selling a program and all this different stuff. I've been living this lifestyle for years, since 2020. And man, it is an absolute game changer when you can come on a vacation and you can choose to work or you can choose not to work. And you don't have to pick up the phone if you don't want to, right? That's something that I never got to experience when I was doing SEO. I remember having an SEO company in 2019, 8 to 10,000 bucks a month. But guess what? I'm in Africa and I'm stressing every time I go out for the day. On my way home, I'm just thinking, oh man, what kind of calls, what kind of emails? I'm scared to refresh my email. It's not a way to live. So the question when we're talking about the laptop lifestyle, because maybe you don't want to travel and that's okay. Maybe you just want to be able to stay home and you want to be able to like coach your kid. Or maybe you want to be able to just go and tinker around in the garage and build cars or make wood projects or go hiking. Like you don't have to want to like sit on a beach or be on a cruise ship or traveling the world. Maybe that's not your cup of tea. That's okay. The key is getting that freedom, having the ability to choose what you do, right? And maybe you're somebody like me where I don't have to work. If I wanted to take off the next year, I could take off the next year and I would be fine, right? Like I've set myself up, I've set my businesses up such that I would continue to get paid day in, day out. I got sales guys pumping, I got people in place, I got project managers, but I love to work, right? Like it makes me feel good. It's like, I love that feeling of working super hard on a Monday, getting all these things done, Zoom call, appointment, sales call, boom, 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 boom. And that satisfaction. I love to work. So yes, I take a week here and a week there and I come hang out I'm actually here with my in-laws and my wife. Yes, I love doing this stuff, but like I choose to work. I love it. You'll never catch me at some point in my life and just sitting on a beach for months and months. That's not that attractive. I like to do it in spurts to kind of mix it up because it's been we've been hustling this January. But I like to work. So no matter what it is, the question is, how passive is this business model? So I'm going to tell you right now. Number one, let's all just agree there is no business out there that is 100% passive. Okay. There just isn't. I don't care. And even as I said that, I'm like, well, maybe like if you put up a song, like maybe you create a song or you create some invention. I guess maybe if you had an invention, I saw this video online and this guy, the guy that goes up and asks people how they made money in the super nice cars. He asked this old guy how he makes money. And the guy's like, every time you swipe your credit card, I make 2 pennies or something like that. I think this is what it was. The guy's driving like this dope. I think it was a Bentley. Anyway, I guess maybe something like that could be passive, but at the same time, I would imagine there would be some level of like making sure that you're, I don't know, maybe that's passive. But as far as like a business that you actually run, like there are very, very, very few things that are fully passive. Even real estate, right? Even physical real estate. I have commercial properties. We have some residential property now we just bought, and some of it is fairly passive. Like I rarely deal with stuff, right? But we also have a property manager in place that makes it so it is not as active. But there's still stuff that comes up, right? Tenant moves out, tenant goes bankrupt and they need to move out. Tenant decides that they don't want to check their employees and the toilet floods and we have to go and change. So there's always stuff, or there's a million things that could go wrong, and they do. So I just want to be clear, when we talk about something being passive, I think a better term is semi-passive, because fully passive would be autopilot. There's no involvement, no thinking, no nothing. It just comes in every month. And although I don't put a ton of work into my sites, and although I've gotten them to a point where I don't even really have to talk to my clients, it's still not 100% passive because I still want to make sure that the set websites are running. I still want to make sure that they're ranking. I still want to make sure that the client is happy. So let's just make sure we're on the same page. When I say passive, we're talking about semi-passive, as passive as you can get. Okay, so that's number one I want to talk about. But the question is, how passive is it? And I'm going to tell you that this business model can be very, very, very passive. And the only way that I can actually tell you how passive this is by telling you about a couple of the clients that I have. And I think I shared this on this call. I get this confused because I do a couple calls every week, but I have a client I can think of right now. He lives a couple miles from my house. Like not even a couple. He lives less than a mile from my house. I could probably hit his house with a rock if I really wound up. Not really. It's probably a little bit further, but it's close. And I pulled it up on my phone. I think it was on this call because I think I remember doing this. I pulled it up on my phone. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to tell you the last time I communicated. Give me 1 second. I'm going to tell you right now. Last text that I sent to this guy the last text that I sent to him was on July 12th of 2021. The text before that, July 6th, 2021. Okay. July 12th, 2021 at 1:17 in the afternoon. He didn't even respond anyway. It wasn't even a question. I just told him that there was a lead that came in. That is my last communication with my client. Now, this client isn't a monster client. This client pays me $500 a month, and I think it's $125 a week. But they have paid me, and he's been my client since January of 2019. So let's do a little bit of math here, okay? And let's just see how easy this is. So we've got 3 years running, right? So we got $125 times 4. I'm actually making, it's exactly 500 bucks a month times 36. I've made $18,000 from this client. And the last time I talked to him was July 21st, was it 21st or 12th of 2020? I think it's 12th, July 12th of 2021. We are over 18 months that I've not talked to this client. Okay. Now, that's insane. That is an extreme example, but that is the reality. His leads come in. He does good work. He knows how to close. We have a good agreement in place. And as such, I literally have made $18,000 that has been passive income. You know what else is dope? Yes, I spend a tiny bit of money on ads. I think I spend like $3 a day. So I actually profit about 400 or so. Let's see, 30. Yeah, I profit about $400 per month. So my profit margin's 80% on that. So 80% of $18,000 times 0.8. So I've put in my pocket $14,400 over the last 3 years. I have put almost no work. I don't talk to him. We don't text. We don't do anything. I drop off a Christmas gift sometimes, and that's it. Okay. That is insane. Now, is that every client? No, that is not every client, but that is how passive it can be. If you get the right client, you get your website ranked, you get your GMB dialed, you get the leads flowing in, you set the expectations up properly, you can have insane margins, and you can have clients that are that freaking low maintenance. So that's kind of an extreme example. 1.5 years. I don't know what business you're in or don't, like, it doesn't matter. No one really that's on this stream or that's going to watch that is going to expect that you shouldn't have to like check in with your clients here and there. 18 months, that's an extreme example, but that is the reality. There is actually opportunities out there where you don't have to talk to your clients. So what I want to share with you is this. This is the key to this whole thing is once you do your initial deal. So in the way that I teach this, the way that I recommend is you go and you pre-sell your website, right? You pre-sell the deal. Let's call it $1,000 a month. And I always recommend always to do a contract, 3 months, 6 months, you choose. You do that initial contract and you really deliver. You sell them, undersell it, and then you crush it for them. And what I found, this is the key, and this is what you guys need to write down. You guys need to remember is if you can get that client to re-sign with you, okay? So let's say the 3 months are past and you can get them to sign into a 6-month or a year agreement. Once you sign that second agreement, this thing gets very passive, okay? Like the chances of them canceling once they sign that second contract, this is from experience, not from data, not from talking to other people. This is my experience, right? Is once you over deliver for that initial contract, that 3 months, that 6 months, whatever, and you can get them to sign that contract, it becomes incredibly passive. The passivity of this business model gets insane, right? And the chances of them canceling go way down. So I want to tell you guys is it is so important that you, when you get that initial deal, that you deliver, you over deliver, you crush it for these clients during that initial period. Because if you do that, not only obviously are you going to be able to continue to build that business because you're not going to be losing clients as fast as you're gaining them, but you are going to be able to scale much quicker because you're going to have that client with you for a long time.